Hello everyone. Sitting here eating my Reese's Pieces. The storm finally moved out. I am rescheduling the live that I had for tonight. I don't know exactly when. I will probably end up doing 2 different lives. I know that YouTube has this side and that side, and I sit neutral in it. Like, I see the bullshit, I see the love, I see it all. But my channel is based on helping others. And I have had a couple of creators ask me questions that I am more than willing to answer, and answer on panel. I cannot speak completely for the whole community because I only have my experiences to go off of, even though my experiences does include being around those experiences of others. But I will be doing that live, and then, or maybe before, depending on how the schedules work out, I'm going to be doing a live with a community member that we can discuss things like misgendering, pronouns, some of the LGBTQIA laws going into effect that harm us and harm others. They just don't see the little fine print. LGBTQIA inclusion in the workplace and schools. We can talk a little bit about identities, coming out, just things that as part of the community, it's just a flow. It's understood, even if it's not something that is like generally talked about all the time. So I am not taking any of this YouTube drama to my channel. I am not taking this side or that side approach to this series. I will do my best to keep the peace and not put people up on panel together that is going to be going off into this, ridiculous screaming match or something. But I will do my best to make sure that everyone is heard, one way or another. I haven't quite figured all this out. But that's the good part about being a channel like mine, because I cannot let the YouTube issues be an issue for my channel. My channel is here for guidance, for resources, for awareness, and many other things like that. It's really late, I'm tired, I'm just trying to get through this. But with that being said, I don't know exactly when I will be able to schedule the lives, because it's not only my schedule, it's other people's schedules as well. And we lost another person at work. Thank God that one is gone. Only tried for like 8 months. But anyway, that just means that I'm going to have extra work on my already extra work schedule. But the bright side, Ahita will be getting more puppy toys. I mean, extra work is great, right? For her, anyway. Okay. So this video, now that I got that little rant out of the way, sorry, didn't really mean for it to be a rant. It's just I'm very neutral in everything. Like, being an empath and everything, I feel and see and everything on a deeper level than a lot of people do. And so some things really do affect me. And this is one, I won't lie about it. Like, I'm too straightforward and honest and have no filter to even attempt to lie about it. Some shit really gets me down. And this is one because of the simple fact I've lived it. You know, I've got scars up and down my arms from living this. And then I get out of that and I get into a good place in life, and it's like all of this stuff is just rushing back to me, and I'm not even sure why. Like, I don't know. Sometimes I'm just at a loss for words. You know, freaking testosterone, no tears. You know, that's a legit thing. When transitioning and you're put on testosterone, like literally the last time you cried before your first shot of testosterone is literally like the last time you cried. Like, it sucks. Anyway, with that said, this video is going to be one of the videos that I'm going to be putting out to lead up to doing the lives. And this one is about misgendering. Your words, intentional or not, could end up being the catalyst for the trans person experiencing greater harassment and discrimination, or even losing their life or the lives of those they love and love them. Misgendering a person may not seem like a big deal for those responsible for the misgendering, but such careless acts often wreak havoc on the psyche of the person affected. That damage can lead to a decreased self-worth and self-esteem, a feeling of invisibility of living as their authentic self, which could lead many in this community to experience increased depression and even self-extermination. That doesn't even include the peril one puts a transgender or non-binary person's life in when this misgendering happens in front of others that could be transphobic or wish to do harm to that person. Something as simple as misgendering isn't so simple after all. Once you truly understand the impact misgendering has, you will begin to see the pain and suffering that occurs with it. Excuses are not really excuses after all. I keep forgetting because I knew you before. You need to give me time to remember. It's just hard to get used to. I can't change overnight. After being told countless times, the excuses just become useless because it just makes the excuse giver look ignorant. We all know it takes a bit to get used to. It takes time to learn something new. But have you noticed when a Pokemon evolves, no one calls it what it used to be because they are so happy it finally evolved? Miss Johnson goes home Friday evening, gets married, and returns to her classroom Monday morning as Miss Williams, and no one hesitates to get it right the first time. Yet a dear friend of 20 years, or the loved one we have known since their birth, announces their name and pronouns have changed, and everyone flips over backwards, stumbling around, questioning their choices as if it affects the one questioning it. 5 months, a year, 5 years later, the excuses used on day one are still used, and you have now not only disrespected the person, but you have spent the whole time invalidating them, being part of the LGBTQIA erasure that is taking place, caused them day after night of stress, depression, isolation, fear, and so much more. You can take the confusion out of the pronouns, out of the expression of their identity, etc., by simply viewing it as a form of respect. Respect is key in any relationship, and lack of respect is devastating on so many levels. When one person in the community is misgendered, it affects us all. On the inside of the community, we know the struggles that are faced daily. We know the death statistics. We see our fellow siblings at their worst when the outside looking in only sees the sparkles, the drag show glamour, community members smiling and cheering at pride events, etc. Our community has been silenced and expected to hold in the pain and the suffering, the depression and anxiety, the fear. The fear for some runs so deep that they cannot even validate themselves alone in front of a mirror. But the outside looking in does not see this. As a community, we stand together. As a community of gay, lesbian, trans, non-binary, genderqueer, intersex, ace, pan, poly, demi, two-spirit, and so much more. We stand together. When one person hurts, we all hurt. And one can't be truly happy and safe until we all are. Have a good night, everybody.